Once upon a time, in a small town in England, there was a girl named Wendy Darling. Wendy was a kind and brave girl. She loved to tell stories to her younger brothers, John and Michael. They would sit together in their cozy room, dreaming of adventures. One night, while they were getting ready for bed, a strange sound came from the window. It was a soft tapping. Wendy opened the window and saw a boy flying outside. He had bright green clothes and sparkling eyes. It was Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. Peter Pan was full of energy and excitement. He loved to fly and have fun. He told Wendy and her brothers about Neverland, a magical place where children could play forever. Wendy's eyes sparkled with wonder. She wanted to see this magical land. "Come with me," Peter said, grinning. "We can have adventures together." Wendy looked at her brothers. They were excited too. "Yes, let's go," she exclaimed. They all climbed out of the window and flew into the night sky, leaving their worries behind. When they arrived in Neverland, it was more beautiful than they had imagined. There were colorful flowers, sparkling rivers, and friendly animals. They met Tinker Bell, a tiny fairy who flew around Peter. She was jealous of Wendy at first, but soon warmed up to her. Wendy, John, and Michael explored the island. They played with the Lost Boys, a group of boys who lived in Neverland. They had fun playing games, swimming in the river, and having picnics under the sun. As days passed, Wendy and Peter grew closer. They shared stories and dreams. Wendy loved Peter's adventurous spirit, while Peter admired Wendy's kindness and bravery. They laughed together, danced in the moonlight, and watched the stars. One evening, as they sat by the river, Peter turned to Wendy. "You're special to me," he said softly. Wendy felt her heart flutter. "You're special to me too, Peter," she replied, smiling. But not everything was perfect in Neverland. Captain Hook, the villainous pirate, wanted to capture Peter Pan. He was jealous of Peter's happiness and wanted to take over the island. Hook and his crew plotted to catch Peter and the Lost Boys. One day, while playing, Wendy and Peter were captured by Hook. Wendy was scared, but Peter remained brave. "Don't worry, Wendy. I will save us," he promised. With clever tricks and the help of Tinker Bell, they managed to escape. After their adventure, Wendy began to feel homesick. She missed her parents and her cozy room. She loved Neverland, but she realized she couldn't stay forever. Peter didn't want to grow up, but Wendy knew she had to return home. "Peter, I love this place, but I miss my family," she said sadly. Peter's face fell. "You don't want to stay with me?" he asked, his voice trembling. "I want to, but I have to go back," Wendy replied. The day came for Wendy to leave. She gathered her things and said goodbye to the Lost Boys. They were sad, but they understood. Peter tried to be brave, but tears filled his eyes. "Will you ever come back?" he asked. "I promise to visit," Wendy said. She hugged Peter tightly. "You will always be in my heart." Peter nodded, but deep down, he felt lonely. Wendy and her brothers flew back home. When they arrived, everything felt different. Their parents were happy to see them, but Wendy missed Peter. She often thought of their adventures in Neverland. Days turned into weeks, and Wendy grew up. She became a wonderful storyteller, sharing tales of her time with Peter and the Lost Boys. But no matter how much time passed, she never forgot Peter Pan. One night, as Wendy was reading a book, she heard a familiar sound outside her window. It was the soft tapping again. Her heart raced with excitement. She opened the window and saw Peter flying outside, just like before. "Wendy," he called, his face lighting up. "I missed you." Wendy's heart filled with joy. "I missed you too, Peter," she replied. Peter and Wendy spent the night talking and laughing. Wendy realized that even though she had grown up, she could still have a special place in her heart for Peter. They promised to always be friends, no matter where life took them. As the sun rose, Peter flew away, but Wendy knew he would always be a part of her life. She would continue to tell stories of their adventures, keeping the magic of Neverland alive in her heart.